Welcome back, friends. Yes. Why are we sleeping? We don't want to be asleep, as Sarah rightly pointed out. The second apparition of the Mother of God, and I abbreviate that as MOG. So if that shows up in my notes, that's what that is. On June 13th of 1917. June 13th is a great feast day. It's the feast of St. Anthony of Padua, and in a particular way is loved in Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
Our Lady has 3 requests. 1, return July the 13th. 2, pray the rosary daily. And 3, Lucia, learn to read.
Mm-hmm.
Our Lady will then say, later I will tell you what I want. Lucia asks if all 3 of the children will go to heaven. All right, so she's really, okay, now that's a really great question. What is her, she's interested in her, tell us her goal. And Our Lady responds, and I think this is very interesting too. Yes, I will take Jacinta and Francesco soon, but you are to stay here some time longer. Jesus wishes to make use of you to make me known and loved. He wants to establish in the world devotion to my Immaculate Heart. And in this June apparition, the children saw the Immaculate Heart of Mary surrounded by thorns. That's where that image comes from, is from this apparition. And Lucia's devotion to the Immaculate Heart did spread worldwide. And then Lucia asks, because she hears her cousins are going to be taken soon, and so she's rightly concerned. She asks if she's going to be left alone. And Our Lady responds, no, my daughter, are you suffering a great deal? Don't lose heart. I will never forsake you. My Immaculate Heart will be your refuge, and the way that will lead you to God.
Yeah. It's quite a promise.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes. July 13th. This is going to be the 3rd apparition. July and October are the 2 most important months, if you will, within it. And for July, we're going to start to see the pattern of the secrets. So this is sort of where the secrets will start to come up. There are 3 secrets. And we'll note the pattern and the lack of a pattern. And this is where you will start to have opportunity to come to your own decision. There'll be a vision. The children will see a vision. And then Our Lady's going to give words to explain what that vision can be. And okay, so let's just do it, and we'll see how it works. So there's a pattern to the secrets for the first vision and the interpretation. The interpretation is key because dreams and visions can be symbolic. And most of the time, dreams are symbolic, but not all the time. Sometimes they're literal, like when Joseph was told to take out, go. But when Daniel's given the dream of Nebuchadnezzar, I'll get them straight, right? Those are skinny cows and fat cows.
Right. Right.
Okay. So there are 3 secrets, and thus we expect to see 3 explanations of their meanings. In July, we have 4,000 people now showing up for the vision, for these encounters. Lucia puts 3 questions to Our Lady. What do you want of me? Pray the rosary daily, and additional addition in the honor of Our Lady of the Rosary, because only she can help you. Now that's a real interesting phrase there. Tell us who you are and perform a miracle for proof, because we're back to that parental skepticism. And depending on, her father was an ardent supporter, or the mother certainly seems universally skeptical throughout the various readings. It's the father who is a universal conclusion on that. So in October, so note she's pre-announcing this miracle that's going to happen. She will reveal her identity and perform a miracle. And then Lucia requests favors for various people. And Our Lady says, pray the rosary to obtain the graces that you're asking for.
Mm-hmm.
We have the power, my friends, within our very selves to bring peace into our world, into our country, into our county, peace in our homes, and healing and the other graces that Lucia was asked.
Yeah, I mean, it's profound and simple. It's one of those things where it's knowledge, sadly, is not causation, right?
No.
We can know how easy this is, and yet we can not, often don't do it. Where the spirit is willing, the flesh is weak. I think, just back to the Garden of Gethsemane, our Lord asked the apostles the same thing. Why are you sleeping? For 1 hour, you couldn't stay and pray with me, right? I mean, we are so... It's not as though our Lord doesn't know inherently our weaknesses, right? He's just always calling us to rise above them, right? And not without assistance, not without assistance. He's always there supplying whatever graces are necessary to aid us in our lack, right? So
that's right. So the angel of peace and Our Lady taught and Our Lady here, we're in July, had taught the children, and they had really spiritually matured beyond their tender years. And now the Lady teaches them the sacrifice prayer. Right. Oh, my Jesus, it is for love of you, in reparation for the offenses committed against the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and for the conversion of poor sinners, that I sacrifice myself. So it's not just simply that we suffer and we just bear up under it, stiff upper lip and all of, like the Stoics, that sort of thing. No, right. we turn it into an opportunity of reparation. For what? How Our Lady is, as Sarah says, so offended, and for the conversion of poor sinners.
Right.
It's the intention of the mind. It's that intentionality.
Right. Yeah, I think that we really have to do. I don't know if it's in the doing that we become aware, or that we become cognizant of the lack, right? Or if it's through the awareness of the lack that we become cognizant of the doing, right? I mean, so right now we know that suffering motivates us to prayer. It's almost universally the case, as they always said, there are no atheists in foxholes, right? I mean, but also that how much more profound it is. I mean, I guess we could talk about the difference between attrition and contrition, right? I mean, our Lord is always willing to accept the movements of attrition, where we fear punishment, where we fear something bad that's going to happen to ourselves, or we fear something bad is going to happen to a loved one. That fear is, as they say, fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Our Lord is always gracious to accept that first movement of the heart. But contrition, love should be the motivation of the Christian. Love should be the motivation of the one who has been the recipient of grace. Love should be the motivation of, love for the world, not fear for the world, but love for the world. The desire of peace should be motivated most purely from us by just a simple motivation of charity. And you kind of see that with especially like in the tiny little lives of Jacinta and Francesco.
That's right. That's right. Excellent, my friends. We are going to pick up in the next episode, the first secret, the vision of hell. Till then, Fides et Ratio.